All right, all right, all right. What's up, everyone? Marshall Lee of DonkeyJawProjects.com. And this is the Early Bird Artcast number 7. I think it's still morning. Yep. It's 9:30 here in the East Coast. And today I have so far Mike Sykes on. What's going on, Mike?
Not much, just working on the page.
Working on a page?
Yep.
Awesome. Getting the comics going. That's what I like to hear.
Yeah.
Sweet. So, yeah, if anybody has, I mean, some of the people who are kind of, invited to be on the show, they've possibly witnessed the fact that it's taken us forever to get this going because we've been having technical difficulties today. So that's been fun. With the audio, and I think it's like a bandwidth problem or something. But yeah, right now I'm working on just doing some sketching real quick. I wanted to do a little bit of just sketching. And then I'm going to get back to the comic. I really actually probably should just get right to the comic because I got a lot of work to just finish this thing up. But I don't know. I feel like I need to sketch a little bit. So I'm doing that. I'm drawing this. I don't know anything, looking up punk rock images, and this one lady, Brody Daly, or I don't know how to say it, but she is, I guess, a punk rocker or something. I listened to some of her music, and I'll be honest, I actually don't think I really loved it, but she's got a cool like punk rock attitude look to her, so I'm like, yeah, let's give it a shot. So yeah, man. So how you been lately? You still there? Looks like I don't hear you suddenly. All right, hopefully, let me check into the chat and see if people are hearing me, if people are seeing me. Fuy's in to the chat. Good day to you, Marshall and Mike. Hey, what's up, Fuy? Let me know if you can hear me. I think you guys can. I think Mr. Sykes got booted out again, or he left. Oh, he's still in there, but I don't hear him. But yeah, let me know if you hear me, or I don't know. We've been having technical difficulties, so just keep us apprised of what you're hearing and seeing, if you don't mind. Yeah, I think you can hear. I can hear, and I did hear Mike for a few seconds, but I can't hear him at the moment. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's on Mike's side of things. I don't know. It sucks, but we shall press forward. Yeah, hopefully maybe some other people join in too. But yeah, I guess this is as good a time as any to let people know. I make comics, if you don't know. Most people who are going to watch this will know, but I'm working on making a comic every month, and you can check it out on patreon.com/donkeyjawprojects. I also want to keep letting people know about this Alternaween project. This is Peter Simeti's Alterna Comics push to get larger distributing, and you can get a ton of comics for a pretty decent price to give to people, to little kids on Halloween. What a better way! What's a better way to get kids into comics these days? They don't have comics in normal places. They only have them in comic shops, and they don't really have access to this stuff unless their parents like shove it in their face. So, this is a great way to get some people on board with awesome comics, and Alterna makes really cool comics. So think about checking them out. I'm going to put a link in the description pretty soon once I'm done bumping a couple things here because I hadn't done that yet. And then there's Monkey Junk by Chris McQuinlan, my co-host on my weekly show that will not go on tomorrow. I haven't even told him yet, but I can't do it tomorrow. But it should be Tuesday. Hopefully Tuesday we'll be able to do it this week. But our weekly check-in we do, and he is got this project Monkey Junk, and if you want to get a physical copy of this awesome book, I would say go ahead and check it out. It's really cool stuff. So yeah, I just wanted to let you know about those things. And Mike Sykes was on here, but he's not. But here's his Instagram. Art of Mike Sykes. He makes some really cool stuff. I love it. Kind of in the fantasy realm, and he was talking about it on an episode not too long ago. He's doing this comic fantasy, maybe Game of Thrones type of vibe to it, but it's kind of there's some comedy in it. It's meant to be a little more lighthearted, but still, there's more to it. There's story to it and whatnot. But he wanted to, it sounded like he was saying he wanted to have a little bit of a funny take to it as well. So it's interesting. I'm definitely curious about it. And so that's what he's working on. And I don't know what the rest of this stuff is. All right, I'm not going to click on any of that stuff. Let's see. Hide that. And we'll go back to my screen. Share my art screen that I'm working on. And I'll try to put some of those links in the description right quick. But yeah, so those are some cool things to check out. I definitely want to always I want to promote really awesome stuff in comics that help push comics forward, and also indie creators who are making really cool things in my streams. And, so I'm going to kind of put a little advert in there from time to time. And I hope you guys don't mind, but I think that it's a cool idea. I know I like to hear about cool things, and when I don't, there's actually this comic that this guy made recently, and there's no way I can get my hands on it because they did the Indiegogo, and it's over, and he's not going to have enough. So he is going to release it, in different ways, but he's going to release it digitally or combined with another Indiegogo. And it's I just want this one comic and I can't get it. And it's man, if I just knew about it, I probably would have backed it, So I like to let people know about some cool things that's going on. Let's see. Just trying to get to my links so I can easily throw these links in. This one is the one. So how's everybody doing this fine Sunday morning? I'm doing all right. I would be doing better if I wasn't having so much technical difficulties. I really got to get to getting some work done on this comic. So yeah, let's see. Let us see. Do-do. All right. Saving some changes. I gotta get Mike Sykes' thing in there too. He made the effort to come on. He deserves to get his link in there. I'm gonna put that right at the top. I see that Chris messaged me. I'm not sure which Chris, but I will find out in a minute. Sorry for this little moment of putting links in, but up here, Control V. All right, cool beans. So the links are now officially in the thingy. View on watch page. Now I can see the chat. Gonna have to pause it so I don't hear my voice in my ears as soon as my computer decides to not take forever. I try to make my computer that already is internet and whatever challenged do crazy feats. Doing good, buddy. Just doing a bit of light drawing while I listen to your stream. Cool, man. That's awesome. That was Fue. Let's see what the message is. I will not share it if it's private. Okay, so Chris wants to join, but he's having issues with his Wi-Fi as well. So not a good day for internet. So for some reason, it seems. All right, so I shall do this alone unless somebody pops in, which is fine. I don't mind that. I don't mind it. But it would be nice to have people in. That's all. All right, let's see. So let's get back to this drawing. Make sure I'm sharing the right thing. Yep. Close down the chat. Don't need that. Cool. All right. So yeah, I was watching or checking out. I don't know. Have you guys ever done like Google alerts and stuff? Like, I wanted to like maybe subscribe to some interesting things that I can like talk about like while I'm doing these things and get other people's opinions about and stuff. So for the first time ever, I like Googled Google Alerts to see what that's all about because I know people find cool stuff that way. Taking a sip of my coffee. And I set one up just to try it out. I put in comic book industry news, and I did get something interesting. I got, let's see, where is it? This thing about let's see, where was it? Should be in the here. This thing about, let's see, what's the title? How Jewish comic book artists led the fight to break the silence on the Holocaust. And let's see, when was this published? It was published just recently. Cool. Okay, so this isn't like old news. Um, and apparently there's this there's I don't know if it's a book. I know it's, let's see. Yeah, it looks like maybe, yeah, there is a book. A book called We Spoke Out: Comic Books and the Holocaust by Neil Adams, Raphael Madoff, and Craig Yo, with an introduction and afterword by Stan Lee. And apparently there's also like a gallery or something that somewhere, I forget where they're showing off basically. I think it must be like to promote the book or whatever, but they're showing off original art and whatnot and having probably lectures and stuff. And so I don't know, it's just interesting. There's an interesting little article talking about obviously the Holocaust, but also just how comic books have spoken out about things that you know, sometimes our culture maybe was shy about talking about. They brought some things to the forefront that maybe weren't being talked about. There's times where they've done the exact opposite as well, but you know, there's been a lot of times where they've done things like even having like black characters and stuff and like racial stuff and there's the I think there's like that there's like famous books where they're talking about drug addiction. I think it was a Green Arrow or something. um Neil Adams, I think, did that, and I can't remember who, but you know, you guys probably know even better than I do. Um, but they, you know, comics many times has not been afraid to like kind of bring some things to light, you know, which I think is pretty awesome. It's an awesome heritage of comics. It's kind of funny. Strike me a little bit funny that you know that people um, criticize comics for not being diverse enough, or they're trying to change certain things, and it's like comics have always really been diverse. I mean, there has also been plenty of, you know, the stuff that they've been criticized for too. Um, but they're, you know, comics have always had, I don't know, they've always pushed certain boundaries, I think. At least I've seen a lot of it and kind of done things that other mediums were afraid to do, you know, maybe because, you know, they're not as popular a medium. I don't really know. Um, but yeah, I don't know. It's just interesting to me. And uh, that's not really what I want to talk about, though. There's plenty of people all over the internet talking about that. And I'm no expert. But what I wanted to talk about too, though, is what comics can do. Like the potential of what comics can do is really interesting. I think I'll try to lay in some values here. Um, yeah. Lay in some values, dude. I never really do this stuff like kind of quite like this, you know. So let's see. So it is cool, like the potential though that comics can do, because like even you know growing up, my first kind of experience with comics was actually my dad. Like he showed me his old like Superman comics and stuff, and I'd always ask him to see him again. And like when I came over, because he was, it was my you know, he was my parents were divorced when I was really young. So I had like you know the weekend daddy thing going on, and you know every couple weekends or whatever, like once in a while, whatever. And so he would show me that stuff and he would kind of tell me, you know, it's like as a kid he didn't really, you know, that people would always tell him, you know, the parents and teachers would always say you got to read more, blah blah blah, and he really just didn't want to that much, I guess. But he would read comics, and you know, and he always thought that was a cool start, and eventually he did, you know, get to a point where like he enjoyed reading and stuff. And I mean, he's the one who read like Stephen King books to me as a kid, and told me all about those stories and stuff. He introduced me to a lot of stuff that you know some parents maybe wouldn't. uh I remember watching RoboCop in the theaters and stuff like that. That thing was crazy back then. um and you know, it's just kind of cool like how comics have that power to kind of subvert culture in some ways, and maybe bring some things to light, and I think they still have that power a lot because pretty much in the same place, as we've ever been, nobody, maybe even more so today, like nobody, some people don't even know that comics exist sometimes um anymore. So it's like it's a great way if a kid is into I mean, it can be used for bad too, obviously, for propagandas that are negative and whatnot, but it can also be good used for good, and it's also a testament to story. Like, to me, like, story is more important than, like, in my opinion, I mean, everybody learns differently, of course, but story is almost more important than actual, like, book learning in school, sort of. I mean, it's weird that I'm saying that because the point I'm going to be making is actually school. Um, was a good part of it, but I when I grew up, and that's one thing they were talking about in this article is like, apparently the Holocaust and things like that were not as well talked about, at one point. It was kind of, some of the realities of the horrors of it just were like maybe not as, I don't know, as freely talked about at some point. I don't know. I didn't live at that time, like, so I don't know too much. I mean, it seems to me like it's always just been a part of our culture to, we know about that. Everybody knows how horrible it was, but I was actually surprised to hear, that comics in some ways really um, brought some awareness, to what was going on. So, but it was more like after the fact. Like, it was like things that people wouldn't talk about so much, like the horrors and stuff and what people really went through. Um, so um, the point I'm trying to get to is, so, like, growing up, I learned about the Holocaust and I learned about, like, the bombs dropping on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, um, and they were had a huge effect on me, just almost just as much as seeing 9/11 happen, before my eyes. um, but it was, history, so it wasn't happening right there, so it was a little less, but they had a huge effect on me. And but it wasn't because of, like, going to history class. That's where you would think you would kind of get this understanding about these things because they're historical events, obviously. So, you know, the place where I learned it though was in school, and it was not in history class. It was in English class, which I think it's I think it was English or whatever. But it's funny that we have an English class when everybody speaks English, but whatever. Um, so, anyways, um, in that class, we read actual books on the subject of people who went through it. I know, Night by Eli Wiesel was a huge impact to me, and that was about the Holocaust. And it was a real life kind of depiction of what happened and of somebody who actually went through it, kind of reporting on it. Um, it's a famous book. You guys probably read it too in high school or whatever. And then there was another one, about the atom bomb dropping and whatnot, and the two bombs dropping and stuff. And I don't remember. I don't know why I don't remember the name of that one, but again, it was like a reporter going down after, like directly after it happened, or not too long after it happened, and reporting on the horrors of it. And wow, like that stuff just it affected me to say the least. And but it was, it's the power of story, and it's also the power of like reporting, but like, it was put kind of in a story fashion, and it's the power of reading, some like a book, instead of like reading what actually happened, instead of like just being told some facts and then spitting them back out for a test, um and I think, comics can do that. Now obviously early on, comics, as they would only go as far as to be like, okay, all the bad guys are, a lot of times the bad guys were like Nazis or something, like, okay, cool, like, and then, you got Captain America punching, Hitler or something, which is cool. That's awesome too. Um but, I guess what they were saying is, a lot of times there would be things like that, but they would shy away from showing, like, talking about actual, like Jews and other people being persecuted in these concentration camps. Um, so, eventually that started to come out a little bit more as well. So yeah, I don't know. It's just something interesting. I think it's really powerful to kind of put that kind of stuff out there, especially in a story format. And it's awesome that comics have at times played a big part, in that. And it gets, especially like the tradition is that, kids read comics or whatever. Obviously, we know that there's more to it than that. Kids read comics, but so do adults. And it's just as much an adult's art form as it is a kid's art form, sometimes more adult than all that. So we all know that stuff. The world doesn't, but we know. um, so yeah, I don't know. That's kind of something that I think is pretty interesting, and I'm glad that I'm able to have the opportunity to play some part in that. I think it's a, common. I think the tradition and the uh, medium of comics, like, there's no reason we should be proud, to be able to play any part in that. I just think comics are awesome, and I love them, and there's so much that's awesome about them. And and again, I'll go a little bit back on the other stupid tangent, but the crap that's going on, with all this, comics gate and whatnot, like, we don't need that. I'm like on the side of like, you know Peter Samedi, Alterna, at Alterna and stuff. And it's like, that's not there's we don't need that, because the industry is like kind of being destroyed right before our eyes, and all this stuff is not helping, you know. And there's too much awesomeness. And the thing is comics aren't going to die. Comics will never die. I'll just let you guys know that right now. If you didn't know, comics are not going to die. They're not going to go away. I'm just saying, like, the industry, though, as it is, may not die, but it's going to change dramatically. That's for sure. Like, it has the potential to. I shouldn't say that's for sure, but like, it's not doing great. Comic shops are going under, um, at an alarming rate. And and but again, to me, it's not like it's necessarily being destroyed. Like, it just means a lot of times people get like really dramatic about that kind of stuff, and it's like, it's just going through a change, and some people don't like the changes. um, as the times change, you know, industries change. Like, people talk about like jobs being lost because this and this and this. It's like the jobs are never exactly lost. They just change. You have to find a new way and a new thing. Like, whereas some jobs have been gone away because of technology. There's huge opportunities for people who want to become like coders and work to develop that technology, you know. So it's like stuff kind of it just evolves, you know. So yeah, I don't know. Just a little some thoughts. I mean, I'm not the know it all on any of this stuff. There's probably stuff I even said that I'm wrong about. But you know, that's just my thoughts about this stuff. So let me check out the chat, see if what's going on. Yeah. Yeah, I'd love to have you on, Fue. Fue's in the chat. Um, Mike. He thinks it's his phone's fault. Reached the limit on the hotspot. Yeah, just slow. Okay, no problem. The Google overlords still don't like Fue. That sucks, man. But yeah, it'll be good to have you on when the Google overlords allow you to. Come on. All right. So I don't know how far I want to go with this drawing. I really need to get back to comics, but I don't know. I spent a lot of time um, kind of perusing Instagram yesterday because I was in a certain circumstance where I was sitting there for a little bit and couldn't do much else. So I don't know. I got excited about sketching and you know, maybe I'll throw a little color in here. This isn't anywhere near finished. I could do like some inks over. I don't know. Let me do some inks. Colors. Let's see. What do I want to do? Maybe I'll just throw some colors in just for fun. It's easier to throw in colors digitally, so you know, why not? Why why the hell art not? Why the devil not? As Fue, well, maybe he wouldn't say, but he likes to start off his videos with "How the devil art thou?" I love it. It's so funny. It's good stuff. Good stuff. Definitely check out Mr. Fue's stuff. Fue Storm. Google it on YouTube. You'll find it. It's awesome. I get nothing but awesome, interesting info from his YouTube channel. All right, let's see. What do we want to use to color with? Crayons? Some digital crayons. All right, probably just gonna try to match the colors that I see in the picture. The the picture. Oh boy. All right, brush. All right, cool. All right. I guess I'll go with a little bit darker color. And let's see. We got some stuff going on here. She's wearing like this yellow kind of jacket thing. There's something magical that happens, man, when you add color. Right? The magic of color. And it's always like a hassle to do it, you know, traditionally. Here I can like just like get on it. Oh, you know what I should color with? I like coloring with like the rough pencil. Maybe I'll delete what I just did. Why isn't it deleted? Oh, here it is. There was this thing on one of the like these videos about Clip Studio. Um, where let's see, let's go a little bigger. Where what's his name? Alan, what's his name? Something Alan. I forget now. But he was talking about different things that you can do with Clip Studio that are awesome. And what did he say? Oh, like when you press the undo button, it like if you're doing like a bunch of cross hatching, instead of like undoing just one undoing just like one line, it'll undo like the last 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 or like group of lines you did. And I don't actually see that as happening. Let's see. Yeah, it goes each individual one. So I don't know. Maybe there's a setting I don't have on, but he he named that as like a bonus cool thing that uh, Photoshop doesn't do. And well, apparently Clip Studio doesn't do it either. But I don't know. Again, I probably have like a weird setting off or whatever. So whatever. Let's go lighter, I guess. And we'll go a little bit lighter here. Yeah, rock on, man. Let's see, let's get some skin tones going. Cool. I want to go a little bit pinker. Yeah, peachy pink. There we go. Fun with colors. You ever see those? What is that old dude that like those classic Loomis? Is it Loomis? The classic art books, and it's like some of them are like fun with faces or something like that. What else did I see? I saw something else that was stupid on this Google Alerts thing. Let's see. I was like, what? Oh, Midtown Comics selling bagged bat penis for $20 cheap. What? Let's open this bad boy up and see what the heck's wrong with these people. Apparently, it's on Bleeding Cool. I really should just like subscribe to like some of these sites and check out what they're saying about comics. There's an ad, really? Freaking ads. Are you still looking to obtain a copy of Batman Damned #1 featuring the much discussed debut of Batman's penis? Oh boy, I didn't even know about that. But New York City shoppers can fill the bat penis shaped hole in their collections for less than half that price. I'm not monetizing this anyways, but whatever. It's a great conversation for a Sunday morning. um, for less than half that price. Spotted in Midtown Comics today by Bleeding Cool's own Adi Tantimed. I don't know how to say that. It's bagged and boarded copies of the book for just $20. Oh, so they're just saying it's the book. I thought it was like some kind of phallic like situation. Sure, that's a markup of $13 higher than the cover price, but isn't it worth it to own this small, okay, adequately sized piece of history? Funny. All right. It says read more, but do I really need to read more? I think I got the gist. Let's see. Is there anything else interesting about this? So apparently, Batman Damned #1 has Batman's penis in it. I didn't know that. You guys probably knew about that. Once they're gone, all future printings will use the censored version of the comic, in which Batman is retconned into being a eunuch. Oh man, I gotta get it. I gotta see how whoever drew his penis. I'm sure I can look it up on the internet, but I'm afraid to. All right, so that's fun. Did you guys know about that? Well, I'm glad to be the one to inform you if you didn't. Do. That's the type of stuff that'll get me the views. Thanks for shout out, buddy. I might be doing my own little stream on my channel a little later today, so hopefully I'll see you there. That would be rad, dude. Do it. Talk about Batman's penis. You'll get like mad views. Do. That's what I should title this. Batman's penis. Oh goodness. Why am I gonna I gotta probably stop saying Batman's penis. All right, so let's see. In other news, look what I'm drawing. Stuff and things. Do. Doesn't it look cool with colors, man? Cool with colors. All right, now what? Maybe I should throw in. Me go in with highlights. I'll do a highlight layer. I don't know how to color right, so bear with me. Do. After this, I do have to get to the comic. Maybe it'd be something cool to throw on Instagram. Midtones, man. So let's see, what else can I talk about? Anything else in the news? What that is? Whatever. I'm just gonna draw. What else can we talk about here? If you guys ever have any thoughts or suggestions on things, to talk about, I'm always open. Always down. Any yeah, we got some stuff going on here. I love getting into like rendering, but it goes, it's easy to go too far with it. To spend too much time on it. Cool. That's enough highlights for me. All right. For the skin, just for the skin, guys. All right, let's see. Give me that eye, a little bit of eye colors, and then I'm gonna lighten that. What do you guys use? What's like your technique for rendering color and stuff, or digital painting, maybe as it were? Um, there's, I've taken a lot of painting. Well, not a lot. I've taken some painting classes, and I remember in high school. I remember the stuff I learned in high school too. A lot of it, and of course, I've also, YouTubed to my heart's content, as Jan would say. And I have. There's so many different ways to approach it. Some people go in like really dark, um, and then they like to like break out, you know, the shapes and forms and stuff with highlights. Um, and then some people, they do like a mid tone and then drop in the highlights and then go in and do some details. Some people, I don't know, I guess would just use the inks for the shadows. I don't know. There's just so many ways you can like go about it, and I don't know which way to go, to be honest. Like, I'm still learning, I guess. I think just through experimentation is probably how I'm gonna kind of figure it out. But I feel like I'll just always like, um, you know, probably experiment stuff because that's how I am. Um, so yeah, I don't know, but I feel very indecisive on how I want to kind of render colors. Sometimes I like to go flat. I really have been inspired by the kind of the idea of um, going like having the inks really take a lot of the value work, do a lot of the value work, and also like high kind of rendering on inks, um, and then just going in real flat with the colors. But that's not how I tend to draw. But one thing I did hear recently, that I thought was interesting was oh, what was it? Oh, like it's not good to have like very heavy rendering on like on the inks, and then also have heavy rendering on the colors, which I've noticed as well. Like it's just um like it's just sorry. um it's too much. It's like there's just it doesn't look good. um it's just too much information to take in. You need like that contrast, I guess, to come in. And I agree, so, you know, but the only thing is like, do you need like, that doesn't mean like if you have simple line style, you should do heavy rendering either. So basically, you know, it's okay to have heavy rendering on one and try to keep it chilled out on the other. But it's okay to just go simple on both. You can't really go heavy on both, but you can go simple on both with the rendering style. That's what seems to make sense to me, at least. um so yeah, I don't know. Just some thoughts on that, I guess. And I recently did that kind of that Tusk piece, the Tusk drawing. and my character Tusk. Um, and I really dug it. Well, it was okay, but like it was kind of a simple line style, and it was. But I really kind of went pretty heavy on the color rendering, and I think this is pretty good for what I want to do here. You know, this is a good little sketch, and I can maybe post it on Instagram. I'm gonna play with this bottle here a little, just a tiny bit. Let's see, nice, cool, grayish color, I guess. And do that. Just do a little something here, a little something, something. And I want to go in with like straight up white, I think. That's another thing is like with layers and stuff. I have a hard time like keeping layers in check. Um, yeah, I'm gonna just call this done here. Save as sketchings. Let's see. I have a place where I save the sketch, something like literally called sketchings. A folder called sketchings. Here we go. And this will be like, I don't know, punky sketchings. But yeah, like with the layers, I I get confused. I need to like at the very least start labeling my layers because I'll get into it. And right now, like I was doing pretty good. I had kind of the pencil. Let's see. Here, we'll take it all out. I had the pencil layer. Okay, good. And then I went in and did colors. And then I went in and did highlights. But I also threw in a little bit of shadow in there at the end, just in the bottle. And it's easy for me to kind of get lost. Maybe I should do some inks over this. Let's just try a little inks. I'm afraid because it's like I need to do my comic. I know, but I don't know. This is fun too, but I got to get to the comic real soon. I wish I would zoom out more gradually. Here we go. All right, let's do some inks. I kind of like the color, the pencils underneath though too, but those are gonna kind of be used as the shadow value, which is interesting. I didn't plan that, but what am I going to use for inks? Let me go to a typical G pen. Let's see. Yeah, that looks good. Go thin first and then maybe a little thicker. Maybe not. We'll see. Kind of got these. I don't want to zoom too much in, but I also want to get some good details in there. I really would like to have more pieces in my Instagram that are just like, cool to look at. And I think that kind of practicing, practice pieces can kind of do that. Try to get those more stark blacks in there too. You actually don't see her eye in the reference, but I hate when I don't know. I'm not ready to just cover the eye. You know what I mean? I don't know why people complain about the undo. It's the same thing as an eraser, right? You know what I mean? Vern? I gotta get better at doing hair. This is looking okay though. She's just like, what? You got a problem? You got a problem with me? That's why I love this. First of all, she's kind of cute. Second of all, um, well, actually, really, first of all, the attitude. That's really what drew me to this. It's just like, I love this like punk attitude she's got going here. And it just seemed like a fun gesture to draw. Gesture. But it's a bonus that she's cute. That's what's going on. Doo 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 doo. This is Brody Daly. I don't even know really who she is. She's like a singer in a band that's, I think, kind of punk. I listened to some of the music. I think it might be the Distillers, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see. Let's see. This the Distillers. I tried to listen to the music and I was like, oh, I don't know if I love it, but cool. She's really animated in every picture I've seen, so like I kind of really enjoy. I think she might be fun to draw more of. You know, she's probably a good like reference for, um, if you wanted to draw, like Tank Girl or something. She's also looks like she's got some pictures where she's got blonde hair, some dark. So yeah, cool stuff. Cool beanage. What's the deal with cool beans, anyways? Why are they so cool? That's gonna be like my next band name, the Cool Beans. I'm not really trying to be like some kind of pseudo Seinfeld here. What's the deal with cool beans? I'm not that smart or interesting or funny. Do 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 do. I'm just a drawer. I like to draw things, and I'm not even all that great at that. Meow 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 meow. Make comics, Marshall. Get to comics. You guys see my new picture that I put up with my man bun? Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't even know that I like man buns, but um I mean I don't mind if somebody has a man bun, that doesn't bother me, but no judgment of course. But as far as me, like, I don't really care about fashion or whatever, like, but I've been growing my hair lately. And it's mostly just because I've never grown my hair, really. Not at least that much. I don't want to go that close. Maybe not even that close. All right. Um, but Yeah, I've never grown my hair quite that long, so it's been growing for a while now, and it's like the longest it's ever been for sure. And you know, it's fun, I guess. It's not for fashion. I don't know. I don't think long hair is necessarily in fashion. I don't even know. But it's finally to the point where I can actually kind of tie it back if I wanted to. And I kind of do want to. Again, not for fashion, but because I just hate having it in my face all the time. And it like my hair is like super puffy, so it's like it's almost like I'm wearing earmuffs all the time. And so it's like I want to get it out of my face. But in order to do that, I have to have a man bun. I don't particularly think I don't think I want to have a man bun, but I don't have a choice unless I cut my hair. No, I don't like that line. P. Wait, no, it's not P. It's yeah, pen. So cool. I like this idea. That's one thing you get to do a lot more of with, I guess, with digital. I don't know. For me, at least, is I get to. I feel like I'm kind of carving out like it's a sculpture or something. Kind of like that aspect of creating arts and farts. I always feel like I have like nothing to talk about like when I start these and I'm like, what am I going to talk about? And then I come up with interesting things like man buns. Not so interesting, I know. So let's see what else. What else? What else? Do 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 do. The invitation's still out there. Who knows? Maybe somebody will pop on, make this actually be a little bit interesting. All right, let's see. I don't want to go crazy with the pen details, y'all. Don't want to do it. All right, let me not whistle. When I'm whistling, that's a sign that things are getting dull. At least that's what I'm thinking. Streaming and whistling makes Marshall a dull boy. And now I'm at this point where it's like, well, you started it, now you got to finish it, right? Now you got to finish it. Or at least sort of finish it. I don't know that I ever finish anything. Just sort of finish it. She has like this necklace kind of thing going on. A little skull and crossbones action. Because she came out of Harvard and she's gonna rule the world with her skull and crossbones, baby. With George Bush and all that. George W. She's probably like totally against anything that George Bush stands for. uh, Not that skull and crossbones. Cool beans. I really love these like kind of loose styles that I see on Instagram and stuff. They're so cool. There's so many different artists kind of doing it. I don't want to get too crazy with this rendering. Trying to stop myself from going too crazy here, but also put a little bit in there. A bit of line weight up in there. Let's get loose with it. Get loose with it. I gotta draw. This is like, it's good practice though, because like there's so many times where I draw really bad fingers, and it's like this gave me a chance to draw small hands via reference, you know. And yeah, I don't know. I need that. I need more of that in my life. I used to do starting out this year. I was doing for a while. I was doing at least 5 minutes of sketching a day. I ended up doing a lot more usually, but it did kind of take away from my comics time though. So that's kind of what's happening today too. So it's like it's hard to, because I wouldn't just do 5 minutes. It goes 5 minutes. I mean, once in a while I would just to get it done, but you know, who does 5 minutes, man? All right, so I don't know, but I need to. I feel the need to do that still. So I gotta. What I gotta do is put out a timer, really, and you know, do kind of 5 minutes. This has been like hours now, or at least an hour. So a lot of that hour was taken trying to troubleshoot this Google Hangout thing. You know, unfortunately, trying to finish this up somewhat quick though. That way, I have like a cool thing I could throw on Instagram. Because it's all about the social medias, kids, right? That's what it's all about. It's most important. And what's most important in life? You know, they really would have said social media if it was back, if it was nowadays. Social media is what's most important in life. Not. I know, showing my age right there with that one. Not. Yeah, dog. This is fun. I could do this all day. I really could. I wish that I didn't want to make comics and I just wanted to sketch all day. That would be fun. But no, I gotta make the comics. Some of this stuff isn't even in the reference, like the side of her arm here and stuff. I gotta like pretend I know a little anatomy there. Get those ellipses going. Yeah, dog. All right. Let's see if we can get this hand in here in a decent way and not make it look like a deformed something or other. That doesn't look bad for a really loose, crappy hand. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. It's good enough for me. This bottle's not in there either, so just I don't know. There's gonna be like a sticker on it, right? Maybe there's some liquid in there. She probably drank it all. She looks like she drank it all. Just pretend I know how to draw a bottle. All right, let's stop with that. Chill out with that. Muskrat. This is where it gets really interesting for you guys. Maybe that's all this little thing will be, because I might be kind of out of things. And I want to watch somebody else's video for a change instead of trying to entertain. But these are fun though. I think these are going to get really good once I get people coming in more. And, it was fun yesterday hanging out with Creed and Chris. Yeah, I don't know. I think they're going to be super fun. I'm going to become internet famous with these. No, but we're going to have fun being artists and not being divisive like other channels. No, I'm just joking. I'm not doing this so I can try to be better than anybody. I'm just enjoying myself and I want to do my own thing. There was a cool quote actually that I came across yesterday, and it's like one of those super like cheesy quotes. Oh, I forgot I got to do the pants. All right, here, let me get the quote out, and then I'll do the pants, and then we'll finish this bad boy out. Unless somebody happens to pop on, and then I'll be like, all right, we're doing comics, baby. Let's see. Did I open Twitter by accident? Yes, I did. Open Instagram, go to saved. Oh, I could have done this on the computer, actually. Excuse me. All right, here it is. No one, this is super cheesy, but it's awesome. No one is you, and that is your superpower. Pretty cool, right? I like it. So there's your motivation for the day. Actually, there was another couple ones that I saw recently. Might as well share them. Let's see. The harder thing, the harder than learning. Oh, wait. The harder thing is harder than learn. Oh, wait. All right, I'm going to read it as it's said because I don't get it. The harder thing, harder than learning, harder how to be an artist, how to draw well, how to paint well, write well, make music well. The harder thing is learning how to be who you are, not your style, not your stories. You, just you. Style and story will follow. That's kind of interesting. I like that. And then the last one. The hard work of living into our full potential in any role includes listening to the design of who we are, trusting that it has a place, it fits, it matters. Again, kind of cheesy but kind of awesome too, right? I think so. So yeah. And that one was by Mr. J. Myers, which I think he's like well known. I feel like I've heard of him before, but I don't know. I just came across him yesterday and I was digging some of the stuff he was saying. He actually has this one image that I kind of threw in a comment there. I was like, "This needs to be a T-shirt. I want to wear this." It was really cool. It was really cool. I will check the chat pretty soon too, and then we'll probably end it. Just finishing up these pants. The pants are cut off in the image, so I'm kind of making some stuff up too as we go. Probably messing up all the proportions, making it look ugly. Yeah, definitely. Some of this stuff isn't very accurate to the picture, but whatever. Who cares? Really, who cares? Belt it up, belt it up. Man, I love drawing. I could just do this all flipping day long. Comics, on the other hand, wears me out. I gotta take breaks. But just sitting here drawing like this, yeah, good stuff. Good stuff, Butterpuff. I don't know what that even means. Let's get some of that shadows in there. See a little bit of shadow from her bottle. That's what all this is. Pretty neat. Pretty neat. A little bit of that pocket action going. Some of those little details that sometimes make the piece look cool. Try to keep it really messy so that I don't get too bogged down and get to my comic. Gotta get that comic done. For all my fans, for all my 2 patrons. Again, if you want to check out the comic when it's done, you can go to my Patreon and read that junk when it comes out. Some people hate Patreon. I get it. I get it. It's helping me do my thing, though, so I'm going to go with it for now. Know what I mean? Vern. All right. Can we call this? Can we call it done? I think we can call it done. Cool. All right, let's look at the chat. Here, let me throw a little. Hey, look, I did it. Whee. All right, let's see. Here, let me share my screen a little bit here as I finish up. You can see the reference that I'm working with. What you working with? See, there you go. Reference. And there's the reference. Here's the drawing. Will it switch? Oh, maybe it won't switch. It's supposed to show what I'm looking at, but you know, I'll put it up in YouTube's or in the Instagrams. All right, let's see. And I guess I'll go back here. This is how we can do it. There you go. There's the drawing. Reference drawing. Cool. All right. So let's go to the chatty chat. Oh, it looks like people were talking. What's up, James? Glad you came in. All right, let's see. Fue says he tends to use a technique known as hi-fi coloring, which is very 90s, but I'm starting to play around with the cell shading. Cool. Yeah, cell shading's another one that's super popular. James said he might be seeing me then. Oh wait. Oh, hi, quick family showed up when the stream started, so I can't even join in chat. Just sub to your channel. Oh, cool. Yeah, sub to his channel. Check out his podcasts. They're really good, and all his videos are freaking awesome. Gotta go. Getting dirty looks. Thanks for coming in. Looks like you came back too. Really dig that piece of Tusk that you did, Marsh. Thanks, man. It's Fue. Same thing with layers. I keep creating new layers and I always forget to name them. It's a miracle that I get anything done. Okay, so I'm not alone. That's good. That's good to know. Have you tried using the mapping pen for inking? I tend to switch between that and G Pen when I ink in Clip Studio. No, I don't think I have. I'll have to try that out. Thanks for letting me know. I'll definitely give that a shot. I do like the G Pen. I mean, I think the basic pens that come are pretty cool. But oh, Brian Allen, that's the guy I was listening to. He has some cool pens, and I got to load them into here because I had them loaded in on my other computer, and I don't know. He's got some cool textures and whatnot I might play with. Fue and James sharing the love, subbing each other. Let's see. I'm back. That was fun yesterday, Marshall, even just watching. Oh, cool, man. Thanks. I'm glad you dig it. Gonna try a test stream, hopefully tomorrow or next day. I might finally have what I need to stream. Cool. Yeah, that's a good way to do it. Just do a little test there. You can even do it privately if you want, unlisted. See if it works. But I would love to see your stream too. I'll let everyone know on Messenger before I attempt it. Cool. Hey, thanks, James, for the compliment. He said that this is cool drawing and stuff. So yeah, I think I'm done, guys. I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me. You guys rock. Again, Mike Sykes' link is in the description. If you want to check him out, he was on for like 2 seconds, but he's doing some cool stuff. You should check his Instagram out. And don't forget about Alternaween, Monkey Junk, and of course, last but not least, patreon.com/donkeyjawprojects if you want to check out my stuff and the comic. And I just put up the first page of Corncob Rob fully inked on there, and you can only see it if you're a patron. So yeah, that's how that works. But you know, sometimes I post stuff that you can see even if you're not a patron. So I'm not trying to hold everything back, guys. I'm trying to share the love. And also Marshall Lee _DJP on Twitter and Instagram is the way you can kind of, that's where I'm most active. I'm also kind of active on Facebook, but whatever. I don't, the link's in the description. I don't really care about Facebook except for it's good for community. I like messing with the groups and the Facebook Messenger and stuff like that. So yeah, that's about it, guys. I really appreciate y'all for hanging out with me, and I'm definitely not gonna, I don't think I'm gonna have one tomorrow, and then Tuesday we'll probably be doing the check-in with Chris, and then we'll see what happens. Maybe I'll get one in during the week, maybe I won't, I'm not sure. But it is a wrap, guys. Thanks again, and I will talk to you next time. Peace out, guys.